Hey guys, the young Moldran is here, and today one of my favorite Diablo fan sites named diablofans.com released some data mined information about the expansion Reaper of Souls. Now let's jump right into it. Um, Here you can see certain things that the data mined. There's a lot of information that they have, and for example, let's start with this: guilds, clans, ladders, and seasons. Yes, you heard correct. So Diablo is finally gonna get guilds, clans. I might make my own Moldran guild for all the viewers on my Twitch TV channel and YouTube guild. We'll see how the system is gonna work, but how many people we're able to get in? There are probably thousands of people that want in, so have to wait for that. But what also is interesting is the ladder. Now there's going to be a ladder rank. It's going to be competitive. There are going to be several seasons, hardcore seasons. It's going to show the best ladder paragon level and so on. It's very cool, and I think it's going to get many people back into the game, because the people right now in the game, no one is going to have an advantage. This also puts also gets me the question: should we keep leveling paragon characters or not? Because it could be that at the release of the expansion, or the first ladder already starts, and then everything you do now would be wasted. So that's something we have to consider. But other things, I'm gonna skip the spoiler part. There's some new Crusader abilities announced. They're all pretty cool. The video is super sick. It shows Crusader abilities in action. It's a very cool class, and I might play it just because Crusader is really cool and it's new. Then here's something about the challenge links, the game modes that are coming, and there are 5 different game modes. For example, wave trial, where you have to destroy enemy waves as quickly as possible, and extra time is converted into bonus experience and gold. This is actually one way that you could use the level, so you don't just have to farm mobs anymore. No, that's not going to be part anymore in the expansion. It's all going to be about interesting game modes and being or doing well in those game modes. Those are going to be the most efficient way to level and to get gold, and this is something bots can't do. Bots can't clear like this wave trial as effective as you can, because it's going to be difficult, it's going to be hard, and it's probably going to require many people to cooperate with each other and play together. Now another thing is horde trial. Slay an unending horde of monsters, kill monsters before time ends. Basically, you have, let's say for example, 5 minutes, and monsters keep coming, and you have to kill as many as you can. This also is gonna be about min-maxing your own setup, your build, and it's probably gonna work in groups as well. So it's gonna be about coordination, teamwork, finding a proper setup, and yeah, do it faster than, or as fast as you can. Then collapsing dungeon, also really cool. Like, you're in a dungeon and it's basically collapsing, so you have to loot Nephalem relics to delay the dungeon collapse and earn time bonuses. So you have to make it in time out of this dungeon before you get destroyed. Really interesting mode. Berserker trial, slay monsters before they come enraged. Killing marked monsters before they enrage grants bonus experience and gold. This is another sick thing, because this actually also this is something a bot can't do. A bot probably can't kill those mobs that he needs to kill. So this is something that also requires teamwork, coordination, precision, and many other abilities to do well in that. Like, you see a mob get enraged, you have to swap focus immediately to him. This kind of like reminds a bit on World of Warcraft boss fights, where you have to switch focus and stuff. And the last is Goblin Hunt, where you have to find treasure goblins before they all escape. I guess this is something like a dungeon with, let's say, 20 treasure goblins with low HP, and you have to kill as many as possible. Also really cool. But this is just like such a thing of such a list of changes. I can't go through all today, but I can show you a few more. Now, other thing here is item passive effects. So a lot of legendaries and stuff are being introduced, and new legendaries with super cool abilities that really like give you the option to customize a character completely. And for example, let's take here health globes picked up, release an explosion, chance to summon minions, so there's going to be a lot of minions in this game. Also, like, this is nowhere final, so this is just a small list of all the legendaries are going to be. So if there's something you want to see in the game and it's not in that list, it doesn't mean that it's not going to come into the game. One in particular pretty interesting thing is, I don't think I can find it right now, but there was an ability that if you die, you instantly get resurrected. And this ability in hardcore is just crazy. I mean, this could actually, like, this is the counter to all those disconnect problems. Yeah, it was a ring. I remember it was a ring. So if you find one of those rings, probably going to be pretty expensive in hardcore, but you can actually like prevent dying to disconnects or even regular death. So if you actually really fuck up in hardcore, you're going to get a second chance to live. But yeah, all those different things, it's just crazy. I mean, it really allows customization, automatically cuts most when you fall below 30% life. This is like I don't know, it's like an I win button at the end, like also a second life. Probably really good in hardcore, and you see even more. For example, this one is also interesting. After earning a massacre bonus, summon 5 to 10 skeletal guardians for 45 seconds. So you can actually have your own armor. Some people say this could actually be or mean that there's a second new class coming in the form of a Necro. That's gonna and this legendary is for him. But I think this is probably gonna be I don't know, a normal legendary. But we have to see. There could always be surprises. Then Paragon bonuses we know already. That's all interesting stuff, but I really time is limited. I'm only gonna go for some more stuff. And what interests me the most is the game modes, the end game content. What are we gonna do in the game when it comes out? And this is some additional information here. For example, difficulty selector. Baseline Diablo 3 experience, monsters are slightly more powerful and a little more health, more powerful and increased experience and drops, and much more powerful and very difficult to kill. And what this tells me here is that they're gonna get rid of the monster power system, which is crap anyway, because monster power just increases HP and DPS. And I think with the new system, they might actually increase, for example, the strength of affixes or the speed of monsters and so on. I also don't know how the ladder system is going to work exactly. It could be like Path of Exile, like 3-day races, 1-day races, 2-hour races, monthly ladders. I don't know. Like the options are endless for this expansion pack. And yeah, I mean, we are still months away from release, and there's still new stuff being developed. Bounty system, that comes later here. It's also pretty interesting. And yeah, let's check some more. Okay, here again, loot run. Loot runs is where actually you can go into levels. Like you can go down until level 10, and every level there's going to be boss. There's going to be an arena. There are going to be special achievements that you have to do. For example, kill 500 enemies. What's interesting is that Sultan Kule is gonna open this portal. Like Sultan Kule is everywhere. He's everywhere. He was part of Act 2 storyline. You killed him in Act 2. Then he is an Uber boss, and now here he's also like probably the opener of portals to loot runs. I don't know how this guy always gets back to life, but it seems that he's pretty important. Yeah, some more things. Slay monsters, kill elites, slay the boss. Really cool stuff. Then there's a loot run guardian, there's a portal keystone, there's a lot of new stuff that we don't really know what exactly it's going to be. This is also interesting. There's a challenge or over 100 quest objectives. The expansion pack brings more than 100 different quests new to the game. I don't know if they're all going to be in Act 5 or if there's also going to be something new in the previous acts. I don't know. I think many quests are going to be related to loot runs, to Nephalem trials and so on. But there's so much stuff in the game to do. It's almost like a small MMO. It used to be an action RPG. I don't think it's an MMO, but it's going to be something much more than an action RPG. You could say like a super action RPG with a lot of social features, with the clan system, the guild system. Like it's going way out of the league of or the current existing action RPGs that you have, like for example Van Helsing, Path of Exile, and Diablo is really taking it to the next level with the expansion pack here. Yeah, another thing is loot run bosses. I mean, many of those bosses are bosses that are already in the game, but some are new, but they might as well be from Act 5, so I don't know how much effort was put into that. Nephalem lore, also pretty interesting. I'm not really interested in the lore, but that's the last thing I'm going to talk about. It's the bounty system. And the bounty system is probably going to be, for example, go to this zone and kill this mob to get something that you need. And the bounty system is pretty interesting because it actually makes you go to all zones. It makes you go, for example, to areas that you don't go right now because they're not effective. For example, no one goes to, let's say, a random Act 2 area because it's not effective. People only go to the areas that give a lot of experience. But I think experience farming in the expansion pack is going to be with quests. Maybe there are even daily quests, loot runs, Nephalem trials, and so on. Like all those different ways are probably the best ways to get experience. And then you can also use the bounty system to go to maps that you don't usually go to for a change. So the expansion is going to have a lot of content, a lot of different content, a lot of different incentives to do different things. Another thing that just pops up here is the Devil's Hand. It's another brand new feature, and it seems to be some kind of like a card game. It says a threat, a riddle, a game of cards where the winners and corpses. It's pretty interesting. You obtain a lot of stuff, and until you get there, you need to combine, let's say, 30 different things, and then you're finally able to get to Devil's Hand. And yeah, but I don't know. It also says click a card to reveal one of the random rewards. You can keep it or choose to look at the other card. If you do, you must keep the second card. So there's some kind of RNG involved, but I think there's also going to be a fun system. And yeah, I really have to stop now. I mean, the features are just overwhelming, and this is just like a small glimpse again on the expansion pack. Blizzard didn't release everything. Not everything can be data mined. Not everything can be leaked. This is just some part of the information, and we're still like, I would say, half a year away from release. So I think next year Reaper of Souls is going to be absolutely amazing. This definitely exceeded my expectations. I had high expectations for the expansion. I was hyped before, but now like that hype is off the scale, you could say. I hope some of you guys see it similarly. It really seems that this is going to be the action RPG of the next few years, and yeah, let's wait for BlizzCon to get some more information from Blizzard themselves. Thanks for watching. I'll be back.